Your spare change could hold a fortune. The 2021 Crossing the Delaware and 2022 Dr. Sally Ride quarters have rare errors selling for big money, if you know what to look for. We'll reveal the key flaws, double dies, missing letters, off-center strikes, that turn ordinary coins into treasures. A shiny Washington mint mark P glints beneath your loupe. The year, 2022. The coin, a state quarter honoring Dr. Sally Ride, first American woman in space, the fourth state quarter in the series, issued to salute her legacy in science and exploration. Everywhere these quarters were intended for circulation, the design is straightforward. State outline, a rocket launching, Ride's name, first woman in space 1983. But somewhere between die production and release, a subtle flaw emerged, so quiet it almost didn't matter. This error began its journey at the Denver and Philadelphia mints, where dies are punched and hubs strike blanks at blistering speed. In 2022, the production of mint state quarters was routine. No silver planchets, no emergency wartime shifts, just daily efficiency. Yet even in such controlled settings, tiny misalignments can slip through inspection. On one die, ready for full production, a small gouge formed beneath the P mint mark. Not noticed in pre-production stages, it created a micro-punched mark, just a whisper of copper peppered with a minute die chip. For each coin struck from that die, the P bore a microscopic punch-out beneath it, a subtle drip of metal missing. Most coins showed no sign. On a lucky few, the gouge caught more prominently, knocking the mint mark slightly off-center. With an almost invisible notch in the field, Amanda's discovery began with a routine search through rolls of change she'd received from friends. She kept spare rolls of quarters, hunting for varieties, those with double dies, missing mint marks or broad strikes. One Saturday evening, she emptied a stash labeled 2022 State. They were meant to be common, but her loupe trained her to scan every surface. After several ordinary pileups, she spotted one with something odd under the mint mark. Tiny, but distinctive, a dent, a gap just beneath the P that shouldn't have been there. Under higher magnification, the shape of the die chip looked almost like a comma. Not rust, not damage, carefully consistent. Her pulse quickened. She posted high-resolution images in a quarter errors forum, captioned 2022 P Sally Ride, possible die chip under mint mark. Responses came with measured excitement. A few scoffed, looks like a scratch. Others, including a known error specialist, replied, that's not linear or post-mint, consistently round beneath the P. Discussion turned to whether it was a one-off or came from a die stage. Amanda felt the weight of possibility, but she wasn't sold yet. She carefully collected 10 more 2022 P Sally Ride quarters, scanned them individually. 9 were clean. 1 carried the same tiny notch. Patented, consistent, definitely die-based. She uploaded videos showing how light glinted off the gouge under specific angles. The chatter intensified. Could this mark be cataloged? Could it be the first modern micro-die chip variety? Sales began quietly. A dealer offered $40, the type of money for hold-at-home enthusiasts. Amanda hesitated, hungry for more insight. Another dealer said $75, still small. Yet seasoned collectors were intrigued. She received an offer for $150. That was big money compared to face value, but this was only the start. Weeks later, a higher-grade specimen entered private registry boards, a pristine mess 67-plus example with a perfectly centered microchip. Its owner listed it at $350. Amanda watched, both envious and satisfied. The early market was forming. Then came validation. A coin grading service agreed to encapsulate one with the notation die chip under P mint mark, along with 2022 P Sally Ride. They listed it in error coin registries. That professional certification lifted the variety onto collectors' radar nationwide. Suddenly, coins listed on forums transitioned from warnings to assets. The first public auction took place 6 months in. A registry platform listed an MS-68 chip coin with pedigree from first documented die shift. Bidding opened at $500. A few regulars vied, pushing it to $925. At the last moment, a phone bid hammered at $1,450. Final sale reached $1,750 with premium. Amanda sat back, stunned. A pocket change quarter from this year, now worth more than hundreds of dollars. Artifacts forged of tiny mistakes. Enthusiasm surged. More collectors hunted rolls. Coin dealers advertised chip under P for $30 a pop. Guidebooks began listing micro die chip with value bands. EF, MS65 at $100, 200, MS66, 67 at $300, 600, MS68 Plus at $1, 200, 2000. Yet, as price guides climbed, so did competition. A surprise twist came when a second anomaly appeared in another specimen, a micro-rotated die strike. Under magnification, the state outline and text were slightly rotated 1.5 degrees clockwise. Paired with the mint-marked chip, this dual-error variety became unique. An owner of this rare find sold privately for $4,200, double the highest chip alone price. Suddenly, the market had a new metric. Dual-error quarters were premium. Amanda realized the stakes had shifted. She still held her early certified chip-only coin. It ranked in registry systems, but not among dual-error rarities. It never again would quite fetch the highs of the dual-error. But she'd been the one to spark interest, and for that, she felt proud. What started as hundreds of penny-quiet coins, supposedly production routine, now showed nuance. A tiny die chip below a mint mark revealed the pressure of industrial mint-making. The micro-rotated strike suggested a die loosening mid-run, perhaps knocked during maintenance, unnoticed until too late. These small features humanized the minting process. They made each coin a window into unseen factory floors. In 2022, their value progression illustrates that narrative. $40 dealer offers, $150 for registry interest, $350 for registry certified mid-grade chip, $1,750 for high-grade, for $1,200 for rare double-error specimen. The difference lies in clarity, preservation, and that second mystery twist. Today, collection groups track 2022 P. Sally Ride chips, post-minted with tiny focus, clean specimens, registration details. Roll searches continue. Some collectors reported finding 2 to 3 chip coins out of every box of 2,000 quarters. The die chip appears to be limited. Perhaps 10,000 to 20,000 coins struck before the die was swapped or polished out. Rarity sits between fractional and minor error, value band stabilize. Guidebooks now list chip only in MS67 $600, MS68 $1, 000, 1, 300, chip plus rotation MS68 plus specimens $3, 504, 500. The occasional sale pushes that top boundary further. Experienced collectors recommend slab certification, strong lighting documentation, and special registry pages noting rotation angles. Amanda now mentors new graders, explaining lighting angles that highlight the chip shadow, teaching how to place a quarter on a grid to detect rotation. She laughs. Who'd have thought a quarter from 2022 would surprise us? What makes this modern quarter error so compelling is its contrast. Not a bold planchet shift, not exotic metal, just a tiny nudge in metal excellence. A chipped mint mark, an imperceptible rotation, revealing new life in the recent past. We imagine modern machinery as infallible. This chip proves it's not. Amanda still hunts rolls. One jar sits on her shelf, waiting. She knows there may be more. And if a new variety ever combines rotated chip with another die break, like doubling on Sally Ride text, the door stays open for future discovery. Even from an everyday quarter, the unexpected can emerge. That's where excitement lives, quiet, precise, and human. A 2021 D-State quarter bearing the Crossing the Delaware design struck at Denver. Looks ordinary at first glance. But in one tiny pocket of the minting process, a small imperfection took hold, something you'd never spot without a magnifying lens. In a moment when automation meets human oversight, a die chip formed near the riverboat or subtly disturbing the design's flow. It was the kind of error so slight that it could be dismissed as post-mint damage. Yet hindsight reveals it as something far rarer. IT begins with the coin story. The 2021 Washington Crossing the Delaware quarter is part of a series honoring the bicentennial of America's first state quarters, celebrating New Jersey's slice of national heritage with George Washington's iconic 1776 river crossing. Millions were struck in Denver. Blanks loaded, dies stamped, quality checks performed. But minting, no matter how refined, is still a human endeavor. One morning, a tiny imperfection appeared at the die's edge, below the oar's paddle, creating a shallow raised lump on every coin struck. Most ended up unnoticed in circulation, lost in change, except for those that caught a curious eye. Jordan, a casual collector, discovered one such coin while rolling through a bag of quarters brought back for vacation. He paused when Decimolamo noticed something was off under the paddle. The lump was faint, almost indistinguishable, an illusion unless caught in the right light. He took the coin home, grabbed his loupe, and under LED light, the raised area cast a miniature shadow. It resembled a drop of metal sticking out. A die chip, no question. Heart thumping, he compared it to other 2021 D quarters. None displayed that tiny bump. He posted a macro photo on a specialized errors forum, captioned 2021 D crossing the Delaware. Possible die chip at or? Commentary followed. Some suspected postment where, others said die chip. One error specialist remarked, consistent thickness and clean edges. Likely a die chip, not damage. Jordan ordered a sample of 10 more 2021 D Delaware quarters and scanned each under structured LED. 2 showed the chip. That confirmed it wasn't a freak accident. It was a die error variant that he submitted one to grading, asking for die chip at or. The slab came back. MS 65RD, die chip noted under wagon wheel or paddle. Nomenclature differed slightly. It was added to registry listings, an official variety now recognized. Initial offers dribbled in $25, $50, $75. Then a collector recognized it from the slab registry sale and bid $200. That sale set a precedent. Listings grew with registry tags. $150, $300 for MS, $64 at MS, 66 pieces. Within months, an MS 67 struck sold privately for $1,100. A quick jump. Older guides from 2022 listed the variety, absent entirely. Now, by late 2023, a dealer catalog priced MS 67 at $900, $500. By Q1 2024, they updated it to $500 to $500 out. At that point, an unexpected twist arrived. A collector in California discovered another variant, a die line running diagonally across the riverbank, paired with the ore chip. The coin flashed under magnification. 2 distinct die errors from the same die pair. A dual error example, accompanied by mint ledger notes hinting at die longevity problems in mid-February 2021, but the find ignited fresh interest. An MS 66 dual error piece sold for $3,200 quietly through a collector network. Almost immediately, a sharper MS 67 version went for $4,800. Values doubled. The earlier sell marked MS 65 pieces as low as $500, but tightened pricing to $1,000, $1,800. Dual error at MS 67 fetched $4, $6K depending on clarity. Jordan, still holding his MS 65 chip-only example, realized he'd been part of the origin story. His coin, though not dual error, was among the earliest documented. The registry listings pivoted. Dual error coins claimed rarity. Chip-only still had pedigree. Guides adjusted. MS 67 chip-only $1, $300, $1,800. Dual error MS 67 plus $4, $505, $500. Today, collectors hunt through boxes of change, spotlight, and loupe in hand. The die chip is subtle, a raised droplet beneath the or paddle, not present on most pieces. It requires inspection, lighting at 45 degrees, magnification 10 times or more. Over 15,000 2021 D crossing quarters were struck before the die was swapped. Estimates suggest 500 to 1,000 chip coins surfaced. Dual errors may be double rare. Just a few examples documented. Jordan mentors new collectors, sharing his techniques. How to photograph the chip, how to cross-reference coinscatalog.com listings, when to submit to grading, and why registry placement matters. He still rolls through change, hoping for another chip only or the elusive dual error. He knows he's no longer searching for the generic. He's searching for history in metal, evidence of immense tiny imperfection frozen on a coin that a 2021 D quarter carrying Washington's timeless silhouette and a whisper of mint era narrative. 1 minute, it's a 25-cent piece. The next, under scrutiny, it becomes a portal, time-stamped in die timeline, part of a collector's chronicle. And it might be waiting for someone else to find, in random change, a quiet bump beneath in or proof that even modern coins can still surprise.